Hi, I'm going to do a quick little film showing off my current status with the VR movie player. So if I go into the Setup tab, I now have a bunch of different options in here. So I can go into my H&D, which this is basically how the system will alter the output to look best on your current device. So at the moment I got cardboard, altergaze. You can just do, your own cross-eyed, with none SBS, and then you can also do none mono, which will just do a single rendering, which is a little odd, but it is possible. And then one neat thing now is there's this little device menu. So in here, like if you're on the iPad, I really can't tell if you're an iPad Air versus an iPad 2 like a iPad 4. So you need to, if the screen size is a little different in here, you can go in here. You can choose which device you actually had, because the iPad 2 and iPad Mini, they'll both show the same screen size, but they have a different pixel density. And then also you can choose your different how you'd like to track, but at the moment I'm just going to stick with core motion because the other one doesn't seem to work at the moment, or I need to work with it a bit more. So now underneath the required settings we have the preset configurations. So like if I click on full screen here, then I can go in here, I can change its name, I can change the type of projection. So if I wanted, I can make it a plane or a sphere, but I'm just going to keep it as curved. And then I just want to have a standard video mode and just a standard fill. But if I can go, I can go into mode. I can make it side by side if I want to. And then if I go into fill, I can make it stretch. So you just have a bunch of little options, which in the old version were separate, are now condensed into just a bunch of little presets. And then at the bottom of each preset, you'll see there are just various settings that you can tweak to change how the actual projection of the screen will show up. You can increase how well it's rendered by changing the slices or stacks. You can make it, the arc angle here right now is set to like 90 degrees, but you can go all the way up to 180 degrees if you want, just to make it really take up more space. But all these options are up to you. And then at the very, very bottom, we have the visor setting, and this is the actual screen that holds all the UI controls. So you have some options here to, if you want to mess with that. I really wouldn't suggest messing with that though. So now let me go into what should be the dashboard, but it's not done yet. So now, like, here's just the current files which are in my phone. So let me click on the little eye over here next to the Relaxitron. So in here, each file also has its own preset stuff. So in here, it's already set to load up as a spherical. So when you run the file, it will do that automatically. And then I have it down here in the position slider. It's set a little, it's not at the start. And then this little checkbox or this little switch box will tell it if it should save the location or not. So if you're watching a long movie, you can toggle on this little thing, which it will be on by default. And then if you leave the movie, it will then remember where you were. But also, like if you just had a film and it always had like a long introduction, you can just turn off don't save and just make it skip ahead a little bit. So that's kind of nice. So let me go into it. So now it's gone into the VR mode. I can look around. That's all working. Look up, look down. And then this is now using the current, what I'd call mini player. So down here, I can go to I can exit the app. I can go to the normal player view, pause, stop, currently open up files, open up videos on my phone, or go to the preset menu. So if I click on presets, now here's my current list of presets, and then they should have icons in the future, but I just haven't done that yet. So now I can go through here, I can say, okay, well, now I want this to be a standard one. Okay, so now that doesn't look very nice. So what if I wanted to make it no, not plane. Let's go cylinder. That's at least weirder, but you know, not the way it should be. Let me go back over here then. Let me just go, okay, back to spherical. Alright, now everything's fine again. Alright, so now I can go into my current films on my device. And now let's just play this one. And now one issue though is it's still set to the spherical mode. So let me just now get it out of there. Go back into normal mode, or what I call full screen mode, which in full screen is just currently it's a curved, but it's been scaled up a bit. Because if I go into the what I call standard mode, and you stare at it, and you see this is at scale 1, and it just doesn't look very big. So I usually like to keep it in the full screen mode, just because then you do get a lot more use with your head tracking left and right. Well, let me get out of there. Let me turn on my controller over here and then go to the full size menu. Alright, so here's the full size menu, and then over here there's supposed to be some link information, but I just haven't put it in there yet. So now if you notice, the menu jumped a bit. Now I can mouse over things, or I can look at things, and it does not matter because I'm in controller mode. So there it goes. These MFI controllers are a little weak. So now I can just do everything with my MFI controller. So if I want to, I can pause it. I can increase or decrease the volume levels. I can then go to my file browser and then look at all the different files currently in my system. If I want to, I can go back to the films. And now that was a problem. It shouldn't have auto switch to that. I'll have to look at that one. Now let's click on this one. Alright. So now that one's going to play up. So now I hit back. And at the moment, all you can see is this little up arrow here, which that really shouldn't be there, because when I hit A, I bring back the menu. If I hit B, it goes away. Yeah, that should not be here. But yeah, so that's what I currently have going for the VR video player. There are other settings in here too, but they really don't demo well, because you can also go into here now and you can say, I like to use this thing while in bed. So now the whole screen is up, but you know, doesn't really demo well. You're just trying to use it now. All right, thank you.